is like the fourth time. This is the fourth attempt to make this video. First time I did it, and there's a lot of stuff missing. A lot of stuff missing. You have to do this, you have to do that. Second time, oh, it's getting better, but it's not there. The third time, the voices start. No, do this, say that. So what I decided to do, I very rarely do this because I like to speak extemporaneously and let the inspiration come, let it come, whatever it does. But I decided to organize it so I can at least, it's not a script, I can organize and focus on what I want to say, okay? Facing our fears. Facing our fears, especially in the situation. I just want to tell you the date this is recorded because the situation changes every day. January, February, March 25th, 2020. Okay? So if you're watching this 10 years from now, look back. Look back. I might not be here. I'm in the target group. Okay? I'm over a lot over 60. Okay? First of all, in order to face something, you have to know what it is. Like Franklin Roosevelt said many years ago, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. It's sort of like that right now. So let's look at what we're fearing. Let's throw away, oh my God, all over the world, here in Brazil, but in the United States, in Europe, there's a billion and zillion one conspiracy theories going around. This is by China to dominate the world. This is by the United States, a secret lab to dominate the world. This is by the European Union. Everybody wants to dominate the world. The problem with conspiracy theories, and here's why they exist, because they offer a rationale. They offer simple answers. Instead of looking at the problem, we invent these conspiracy theories and we hide with our fears behind them. So, boom, strip them away. Strip them away. Like I said, I'm dividing this into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. It could be a bit longer than the 3-minute blurbs a lot of people put on YouTube. It will be longer because I've done the Brazilian version, the Portuguese version. Be patient. If you don't want to watch it, go someplace else. It doesn't. I make, oh, you're making a fortune off of YouTube. Yeah, right. Let's get rid of those conspiracy theories and take a look at what's really happening. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a researcher. I'm not an that word. I don't study. I don't study epidemics, okay? That word is hard for me to say, epidemiologist or something like that, okay? I'm neither of those. But at one time in my life, I was a journalist, okay? And this is what I've been able to assimilate, and I'm sure you have too. I just want to repeat it. 80% of us around the world, okay, are going to come in contact with this virus, and we're going to get it, okay? But of these 80%, the great majority, okay, either are not even going to know they have it, or they're going to have very mild symptoms. Now, there are others that are going to have heavy symptoms and are going to have to be hospitalized. And there are others, okay, that age bracket, okay, not because I'm a target of the virus. It's because I don't have the immune system. I don't have the vitality. I don't have the strength of some 20-year-old kid. Okay? I don't. I can't play baseball like I used to play. I can't run around the bases like I used to play. And I pick baseball because it's a lazy sport. All right? I have never been Mr. Physical Activity, but you just don't have it anymore. But of us, okay, the senior citizens of the world, the mortality rate, according to what I've been able to assimilate, is 28%. Now, if that 28% is my father, which he can't be because he's passed over, or my mother or my grandmother, they've all passed over. But if it's your mother, if it's your father, if your grandfather, your grandmother, your aunt, or your uncle, hey, it's not 28%, it's a human being. But just put this whole thing in perspective, okay? We have to stay quarantined not to stay alive necessarily, but so others can stay alive. And that's one of the great, oh boy, aspects of this disease. We have to do things for others. But before we get there, let's try to create a different perspective. We are taught to think in the finite. I'm born, right? I need another ham. I don't have one. I'm born and I die, all right? So everything inside this timeline, all the problems we have become like the curve, the curve of the virus. The curve of the virus, okay? Everything is like a tsunami coming at us. A few years ago, I had some really heavy problems. I went to therapy, and it helped. But one thing I learned to do is to think in the infinite, okay? Let's forget about what I believe in. Reincarnation, you come back, you go someplace else, you learn, it's a continuum. But all major religions, if you're an atheist, atheists even believe, look, you continue, your energy continues. We're energy. Yes, we are. We're consciousness. Yes, we are. We're spirits. Yes, we are. We're souls. Yes, we are. I don't care the label you like to put on these things. But Catholicism, Christianity, evangelicals, Protestants, Jews, Muslims. I'm not saying the Buddhists, because the Buddhists believe reincarnation is central to their beliefs. And I don't want to get into that right now. Or the Hinduism. I don't want to get into that right now. Very soon we're going to get into it. I want to be as broad as possible, okay? They all believe that life continues on, okay? I had proof of it, but I'm not going to get into that here. They all believe that life continues on. So we're eternal. We're eternal. So let's think in the infinite. If the problems that were here, my arms aren't long enough for this, suddenly become here, the problems, we flatten the curve. So think that way. And when you start thinking that way, look back upon this Earth's history. You had the prehistoric age, you had the age of the dinosaurs. I don't remember the exact terms for them. We had the Iron Age, the Ice Age. We had a bunch of ages. Right now, we're in a transition age. We are going, all right? Spiritists say, it's a good term, the world right now, the vibration is expiatory. Where spirits come now, we get into incarnation. I believe in it, where people come to learn. But it's a school of hard knocks. It's not the lessons here aren't easy. We know that, okay? Why? Because we're, and the only way we can learn is for a kick in the ass, all right? That's the only way we learn. But it's changing. It's going into a regenerative world. We'll talk about that in a second. But some people say the old consciousness with the new consciousness, the old awareness with the new awareness. Basically, in my opinion, it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. We're going through a phase. We're going through a dramatic phase because the vibration of this planet is shifting upwards. We're getting an upgrade, okay? It's Earth 3.2. We're getting an upgrade. But I left this here just for this reason. The transition is not like, oh, first page, last page. No, the transition is page by page by page by page by page. That's how it's happening. And that's the only way it could happen. Right now, we see the results here on Earth. but these are spiritual changes. Think about this virus. I mean, as 25, March 25th, 2020, the Prince of England, right, the Duke of York, whatever they call him, has the virus, okay? Some prince or some CEO, I forget the guy's name, has the virus. Politicians have the virus. So do school teachers. So do street cleaners. It's very democratic. It's here to teach us, to show us that there are no frontiers. There are no barriers. And we are all in this together. Now, I've also heard, the cliches. The light went out over here. Let's continue. I've heard the popular expressions, the old cliches. Jesus is at the steering wheel. Yes, he is. God is in command. Yes, he is. The gears of the universe are moving. Okay, they're in synchronization. But I just got to tell you, sometimes they go places where we're not ready to go. This virus is getting us ready. Sometimes they go places where we don't want to go. Well, you know something? There's nothing we can do about it. They're going to go whether we want to or not. We are in a time of change. It's time for us to ask ourselves one question. Why are we incarnated or born or living, but why are we incarnated on this planet at this time of change? There's a reason. I'll tell you what that reason is. We're here to choose. We're here to choose over fear, okay? Fear, hatred, intolerance, reactionaryism, or we're here to pick, to go the way the new consciousness is telling us to go. Let's be tolerant. Understand that we're all in this together. Understand that my humanity is your humanity. Everybody says, oh, there's a God living within me. Yes, and he lives in my neighbor. He lives in the guy who lives in China who first got the disease. And the last person, whether it be in France, Italy, the United States, here in Brazil, Chile, Argentina, in Africa, lives there too. And that's what we're here to learn about. Now, remember I said that we're I also believe that the great majority of us, right here, not the extremes, not the really bad people, or the special people that are here to show us the way to this new consciousness. But most of us are here, who are here. Even though, we're not the most developed, we're not the most evolved. But we're here because basically deep down inside, we know what is good. We know what is evil. We know what is moral. We know what is immoral. We know what is right. We know what is wrong. Okay? So take this time that the world has slowed down to, and here comes the word, regenerate. Regenerate the consciousness that has evolved within you, has resolved within me, has evolved within the great majority of us over the infinite number of forms, incarnations that we have up to this point gone through. Okay? We're not only the future, we're also the past. Regenerate the sense that I think most of us have of love, of compassion, of empathy, and of belonging to one to another. It's a time for us to reflect and to choose. It's a time for us to understand what we need, the difference between what we need and what we want. I need a job. I need to support my family. I need security. I want power. I want status. I want this. I want that. There's a difference. A lot of people say the world will not be the same after this crisis, after the disease peters out. I hope not. I hope the world will not be that world of greed, of corruption, of status, of anger, of hate, of division. I hope the change begins. Like I said, it's not like this. It's like this. And right now, we're going through maybe the first chapter of this change. I'd like to leave you. Oh, I know people are going to say, you see, he's a liberal Democrat. One of the presidents, I was a kid growing up, John Kennedy, and he said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. In this age of ego, of everything for me, maybe they wouldn't be so well received, okay? But let's just change it. Ask not what humanity can do for you. Ask what you can do for humanity. And one of the things we can do together is to become more human ourselves, to regenerate the values, the morality, the sense of right and wrong, the sense of we're together, that I think the majority of us have. But it's got to start. And let's use that old cliche. It's got to start with you. You know, this virus is proving that many of the old cliches are right. Thank you.